Your mindset is super important. How your brain goes, so goes the rest of the body. It's kind of like when you're driving and your eyes look a certain way, and that's where your car's gonna go, right? Whole foods are unrefined and they're not combined with a whole lot of other additives that our body can't process. And so not only do they give you more energy and make you feel less bogged down than if you're eating a high animal content diet, but your mood will also be better if you're on a whole food plant-based diet. And I was like, you see all of these? These are all stimulants. She had half of the bottles that she had containing stimulants like green tea and all kinds of caffeine and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, honey, no wonder you're feeling bad. Welcome back to the Dr. Crockett Show. I'm your host, Dr. Susan Crockett. I'm an OBGYN in San Antonio, Texas, and I specialize in minimally invasive GYN surgery. That's robotic surgery for women. But on this show, our YouTube channel, we go where the scalpel doesn't reach. And I'm bringing you all the conversations that I have one-on-one with my patients to you as a broader audience. So you get to hear all of the really fun wisdom and knowledge that we have usually in private quarters. Today's topic is 5 ways to have more energy. Number 1, stop saying you're tired. I said it. I say it all the time to myself. I'm like, oh, I don't have any energy. I'm so tired. Your mindset is super important. How your brain goes, so goes the rest of the body. It's kind of like when you're driving and your eyes look a certain way, that's where your car's going to go, right? So if you're constantly saying that you're so tired and so fatigued and worn out, then you're going to feel more worn out. So stop saying that you're tired. What can you replace it with? Because I'm not asking you to be dishonest. Like, you don't have to be like all puppies and ice cream and roses and all that. But you can stop telling yourself that you're exhausted. So instead, focus on what you're enjoying. Focus on what you're doing that's bringing you joy in the moment. Take a big breath and meditate if you need to. Take a little minute to get your mind where it needs to be, because often when we're saying we're tired, what we're really seeing is a symptom of our sympathetic nervous system. That's our part of our autonomic nervous system. It doesn't mean having sympathy for somebody. Our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight, cortisol-driven, adrenaline-driven system, is out of balance. We have too much sympathetic or nervous energy compared to our parasympathetic, balancing Zen type of energy. And when we have a whole lot of anxiety and stress and too much caffeine, then of course we're either going to bonk and feel tired, or our body is going to run to the end of its endocrine rope, and then you really are going to feel tired. So that stress and that anxiety, a lot of the management for that can be found in learning to manage your thoughts in your mind. So number 1 is learn to manage your mind, really. And that'll help balance out your sympathetic nervous system with your parasympathetic. Bring the parasympathetic up, drop the sympathetic down. You'll start feeling a little bit better and have a little bit more even keel energy. What we're trying to avoid are the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs. Number 2, it's not going to be any surprise to you guys if you've watched the channel at all. It's eat your veggies. Yes, whole food, plant-based diet. So why are vegetables important for having more energy? So not just carbs, vegetables actually have proteins and fats in them. So if we're talking about eating a whole food, plant-based diet, we're talking about eating veggies, fruits, seeds, nuts, and grains. They have varying amounts of protein and fat and carbohydrate in them, but the carbohydrates in these whole foods are unrefined and they're not combined with a whole lot of other additives that our body can't process. And so not only do they give you more energy and make you feel less bogged down than if you're eating a high animal content diet, but your mood will also be better if you're on a whole food plant-based diet. Yeah, that's right. Eating a whole food plant-based diet and decreasing the amount of animal product that you're eating to less than 10% if you can actually will increase your mood, give you a little bit more sustained energy, and what you won't have are, again, the glucose trip up from eating a starchy carbohydrate like bread or crackers or white rice. What that does is it raises your glucose levels, which makes your insulin level rise. And what does insulin do? It takes that extra sugar that's running in your bloodstream and it puts it right into fat. That's what it does. And so one way that we can manage our energy level as well as our weight is to lean more towards a whole food plant-based diet. Then you get a nice even release of glucose into your bloodstream, or a more even release of glucose. It's easier for your body to handle. Your pancreas will secrete less insulin, and you will have less fat accumulation. Bonus. All right, so I'm going to take a little break here. I'm introducing something new to the show, and that is our recipes. So one of the things we do before the show every time we air is, whether I have a guest or not, we have food in the kitchen together and I cook. And I've started this huge recipe collection, and I keep getting asked, when are you actually going to post your recipes? Yes, Dr. Crockett, when are you going to do this? So this is the first episode. So we've got a brand new year in 2025, and we have a new recipe site. You can go to drcrockett.com/recipes, and that link will be down below. And we're going to post the recipe that we did today with some video. It's really fun. So stay tuned for a little video clip from the kitchen. And after that, we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about the other 3 ways that you can have more energy. So we are making vegan cream cheese. We're going to make little salmon, what do you call, like, you know how you do like bagels and lox kind of thing? But no bagels, we're gonna use cucumber instead. I've got these beautiful vegetables, but I'm gonna start by showing you how to make a really creamy, yummy vegan cream cheese. So this is a cashew-based cream cheese. I soak these in hot water for about 30 minutes. They're raw cashews. We use about a cup and a half. This is a recipe off of Nora Cooks, and I will post the link for y'all. So we start with a cup and a half of raw cashews that have been soaked, and then this is a quarter cup of a plant-based yogurt. Now the one that I'm really a fan of right now is this Higher Harvest one. So this is a dairy-free coconut-based yogurt. They also have a almond-based one that's vanilla. This one, so good, y'all. This is, yum. Yum, yum, yum. All right, we're gonna put in a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. This is Bragg's. And then we're gonna use a little bit of this flaky salt. It says half a teaspoon. The longer you let it run, the creamier it gets. Alright, so while that's cooking, we're going to go to the second recipe I'm doing today. This is a pretty easy day today. I'm going to do a vegan pesto. And I got the idea off of La Cuisine de Geraldine, who's one of my favorites, this morning. She was actually making it with kale. But I like my vegan pesto to have basil as a base. And we're gonna put a little bit of garlic, some walnuts. I roasted up some pine nuts, a little bit of lemon juice, and we're gonna put a little olive oil in it and make a little pesto. I thought about putting capers in it because, you know, capers with the salmon and everything will be pretty good. I have made a caper basil pesto before. It's really good. Maybe I'll do that. I'll throw some capers in too. I wonder if it's any good. Delicious. So I'm going to start with about 2 cups of fresh basil. And for this, we're going to chop it all up. It doesn't matter if the stems are in it or not. I've already washed it. I'm going to throw that in there. And then I've got about a third of a cup of capers. Throw that in there. We're going to throw in a little bit of nutritional yeast. That'll give it just a little bit of cheesy flavor. That's really good. Alright, so I've got the pine nuts that I already toasted a little bit. Made sure to switch them out when they started smelling good and before they started burning. We're going to do something new that I found off of Geraldine's site today, the Cuisine de Geraldine. She puts walnuts in her pesto. And we're going to throw in, I like garlic, so we're going to put in 2 instead of 1. And we need a little bit of salt. Just a teaspoon will do. And then I love this pepper. It's called cherry pepper. And it's got kind of a nice, kind of a floral aroma to it. So I'm going to use some of that. I need the other half of that lemon and a little bit of olive oil. I really like this Rustico unfiltered extra virgin olive oil. I think less processing is probably better. So if you can find one like that, Awesome. Obviously, the longer you let it go, the creamier it gets. Wow. Wow. Home run. Okay, I definitely want that recipe. Y'all can check out the link below. It's linked to my recipe page at drcrockett.com. I'm going to start posting our recipe videos as we do them. And yeah, if you have any tips or tricks about making your own vegan pesto or other things you'd like to put in it, just drop them in the comments below. Thanks. Welcome back. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little segment. One of the things that I'd like you to do is to remember to like and subscribe to our channel. That's right, we are a growing channel, and if you like the content and you're finding it meaningful to you, I'm going to encourage you to join our community by leaving us a comment below and share with others who you think might need a little bit more energy today too. Also, if you stay tuned till the end of the show, I will share a link with you for a PDF about the 5 ways to have more energy, and you can go on drcrockett.com and download that PDF for yourself, so don't feel like you have to take notes today. We officially have 2 sponsors, not just one, we have 2. Our first sponsor today is St. John Knits. St. John Women's Wear is a quality product line that I have worn for well over a decade. I love their fabrics for their longevity. These pieces are investment pieces. I'm actually wearing St. John today. I love this tweed. It's nice and springy heading into spring without being too chilly, because we still have a little bit more cool weather to get through. I really love St. John for their classic wardrobe pieces, their classic wardrobe staples. We talk about using their pieces as a capsule wardrobe. I use them when I travel. They're easy to dress up or to dress down. And you can find the St. John outlet in San Antonio on Broadway. So if you live locally or you're coming to visit, check out the St. John outlet on Broadway. This show is also sponsored today by Virtuosa Vitamins, which is leading into our 3rd way to have more energy. The 3rd way to have more energy is to take your vitamins and your supplements. Duh, right? There are all these vitamin companies, all these supplement companies around, and on our show, what we actually teach is what we just taught before the break, which is eat your whole food plant-based diet and get a variety of the nutrients that you need from your food, and only supplement what you're not getting from your food or what you need. So most of us are not eating a really well-balanced, healthy diet. We're on the go. But what I do take are my daily supplements. So Virtuosa Vitamins is one of our sponsors for today. This is the world's first curated boutique vitamin line. It's only 12 products, and they are the 12 products that I personally have used the most and recommended to my patients throughout the last 15, 20 years. There are 2 things that my patients ask me when they're looking for a vitamin supplement. The 2 things that they are questioning all the time are, number 1, how do I know that I'm getting a high quality vitamin supplement? And the second one is, how do I know I'm getting the right amounts and not duplicating what I'm taking in my vitamin supplements? In fact, one of my favorite patient stories is about my friend who came into the office, and she was going through menopause, and she had this huge bag of vitamins and supplements, and she was just feeling all awful and jittery. And I'm like, this is, not a surgery kind of question. This is not in my wheelhouse, but I'll take a crack at it. So we had her line up all of the bottles that she had from all these different vitamin companies on the exam table, and they took up almost the whole exam table. And then I started sorting them, and I put my arm down in between them, and I kind of split it like the Red Sea. And I was like, you see all of these? These are all stimulants. She had half of the bottles that she had containing stimulants like green tea and all kinds of caffeine and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, honey, no wonder you're feeling bad. So that is a really difficult thing to figure out what you're supposed to be taking. So Virtuosa Vitamins makes that super easy. Number 1, their high quality pharmaceutical grade manufacturing process guarantees that you've got the purity and the right amount of ingredients that you need. And then the second thing is, we're calling this a curated vitamin line, which means you can mix and match them, all 12 products. So we don't have 1,000 of these vitamins. We only have 12 of my favorite products, and you can mix and match them. And if you happen to have something that has a duplicate, the website will actually tell you that you don't need to double order it because you've got a duplicate. And so you can be confident in your dosing and in the supplements you're taking. So go check out Virtuosa Vitamins. If you don't have a good daily vitamin, I'm going to recommend our Daily Essentials. This is awesome because it also combines your probiotic, your omega, your vitamin D, and your multivitamin. So all 5 of them, because we're combining them into one product, it's less expensive than what you would buy for the same quality of vitamins if you were buying them individually. And I'll put the link down below for you. Today we're offering you 10% off with the discount code Virtuosa10. That's discount code Virtuosa10. If you put it in at checkout, you can get 10% off of your order. So number 4 on how to have more energy is sleep. Oh man, I'm such a good sleeper. I would stay in bed all day if I could, I think sometimes. So 8 hours of quality sleep. Now, one of the things that I've noticed, because I'm wearing a Garmin, I have a little Garmin watch that I wear. My Garmin has a bunch of biometric scores on it, and I'm really into tracking my data. And one thing that it tells me is my sleep score, so I can tell whether I got enough REM sleep, which is where my brain's really resting and processing, or if I got enough sleep, how much I was awake, and restlessness and all of that. So I'm tracking my sleep score on a regular basis. And one thing that I've noticed is if I have a little bit of red wine before I go to bed, even just a little bit, really, really disrupts my sleep. So one of the things that you can do to get a better night's sleep is lay off the alcohol, which is really counterintuitive. Is that the word? Yeah, counterintuitive, because a lot of times we think of using alcohol like a sedative. A lot of people want to do a wind down when they come home or use it to help go to sleep, but it's actually very, very disruptive to your sleep pattern, and you will wake up less refreshed than if you refrain from the alcohol. So the other things that you can do to get a good night's sleep are don't eat or drink after about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. You want to give your body and your gut time to settle down so that you're not getting up all the time in the middle of the night. You want your gut to be resting so that your body can rest also. Another thing that you can do is refrain from blue light, like TVs and your phone, your laptops. And if you want to read something in the evening getting ready for bed, turn off the TVs and the electronics. Pick up an actual book with white paper and print, or a Kindle that's got the lighting that's not blue lighting, or a magazine or something like that. You'll have a much better night's sleep if you get the blue light out of your eyes a little bit earlier. Also, excellent temperature, 65 to 68 degrees. I like having my room at about that temperature with a nice heavy blanket. I like a weighted blanket, which makes a really cozy bed. And the other thing you can do is make sure it's dark. So blackout curtains or dark curtains if you want to use a mask. Just all things that'll help with your nighttime routine to help you get that 8 hours of sleep. The other thing that's really important is for you to actually engineer when you go to bed. I feel like I'm talking to my kids. Why do I feel like I'm talking to my grown children? If you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you need 8 hours of sleep, that means you need to go to bed by 10 o'clock at night, right? So don't shorten your sleep because you're staying up and binge watching Matlock on TV or playing video games. Make sure that you are settling into a nice bedtime routine and getting to bed at a reasonable hour. Number 5 is exercise. Exercise, why does that help you have more energy? It seems like that would wear you out. Well, actually, the opposite is true. A good regular exercise regimen, getting 30 minutes of cardio and weight training a day, 5 days a week, actually has been shown to improve your energy level. It helps your mitochondria, it helps your muscles feel stronger and helps your flexibility and gets you feeling more mobile and better, and actually will boost your energy. You get those endorphins going that the runners always talk about, the runner's high, and that will go back to number 1 and help you not feel so tired. So even if you have had a long day, I find it helpful to just go for a little 15 or 20 minute walk. You'll feel better if you do, and so don't neglect your exercise. All right, so those are the 5 ways to have more energy. Number 1, mindfulness. Stop saying you're tired. Number 2, whole food plant-based diet. Number 3, take your supplements. Number 4, get good strong 8 hours of sleep. Number 5, exercise. Thank you for joining me for this week's show. I look forward to seeing you next week on the Dr. Crockett Show. Don't forget, I told you at the beginning I was going to leave you a link to the PDF on the show. It's called How to Have 5 More Energies. It's called 5 Ways to Have More Energy. And you can find it at drcrockett.com. Links below. Go ahead and sign up and download that PDF. And I hope you have a wonderful week with lots more energy.